Good morning, sir.
Good morning, all of you.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. So we'll start within 2 minutes. Okay. Yeah. So let us start today's discussion. So a little bit of syllabus was left, as I told you. So today I will finish it up, and then we will discuss a case, and then we will go to chi-square. This is what is our plan for the next 2 hours. So first, we will finish our. I have seen that this we have dealt with in hypothesis. We have started with hypothesis 2 sample. We are yet to discuss the t-test in this hypothesis. So I will cover the t-test. Then I will go to the proportion also, proportion and t. Okay. So these two we will study in greater details. So let me again remind you the 5 steps. So step one is state the null and alternate hypothesis. Any hypothesis, whenever we state null and alternate hypothesis. Step 2, select alpha. Step 3, select the test statistic based on the conditions given in the problem. Step 4, write the decision rule. Okay. Reject null if zcal is greater than ztab. That is our decision rule, universal decision rule. So we divide the normal distribution into two: acceptance region, rejection region, and we see whether our zcal is lying in the acceptance region or rejection region. So depending on that, in the step 5, we only reject or accept, and we write the implication. What does it mean? That how we interpret the hypothesis. So this is a nutshell. Same process will follow. So only our formula will change, right? Only formula will change, as you know. So let me start. Let me share this. Let me share the screen for hypothesis. Hypothesis. Okay. So let me hypothesis. Just a minute. Yeah. So. Okay, so we have discussed a little bit is left. I have seen actually. So we have studied this comparing two population means. We have done this one only. Rest two elements are left. One is comparing two population. This we have done comparing two population mean in the last session. Now comparing two population proportions. Now if the data is in proportion, I mean, no mean, no median, nothing given. Then how will we proceed, right? So this problem we solved. So let me go to proportion. Okay. Okay. So let us start with. Now we have understood what is two sample. Any two sample, right? Two sample may be two production plants. It may be two sections. Suppose I want to compare section D with H, my two sections. Okay, or I suppose want to compare ICFI University with Amity University, any two university. So two totally independent samples, right? So two sample test about proportions. Now, if there is no mean, okay, nothing is there, then what should we do? Okay, then what formula? Okay, so please write down the formula. So two sample test of proportions. We investigate whether two samples came from populations with an equal proportion of success. So this is our formula. So all of you please. So we do pooled proportion. We do pooling of proportion, right? So I will solve one problem and show you what is pooling of proportion. So pooled proportion is, try to understand now. Let me give you one example. Suppose we are doing a study on my population, which is of two types. One is say young ladies, young females and older females. Now, suppose a company has launched a fragrance, right? Fragrance, this scent, and they want to test that what is the liking of the customers. Okay, whether the customer likes the fragrance or does not like. So see, taste and preference of young females and older females might be different. Again, we have to define what age, up to what age we will call it young female and up to what age we will call it older. Say we take some range, say 20 to 20 to 40 we called young female, 40 to 60 we called older female in age. Okay, so two population is coming to me, younger females and older females, right? Now try to understand. So suppose, just a rough figure, suppose out of 100 younger female, out of 100, 60 like the fragrance. So this becomes my proportion. And out of 200 older females, say what, say 105 like the fragrance. So there are proportion one of younger customer who like the fragrance, and proportion two of older customer who like the fragrance. So how can we write the pooled proportion? PC, that is equal to x1 plus x2 divided by n1 plus n2, where x1 is the number possessing the trait in the first sample. First sample means say young females. So they like, x1 is liking of the fragrance of the young females. X2 is the liking of the fragrance by the older female, right? And N1 is the total number of young females sample that we have taken. And N2 is the number of older females. Clear? So we calculate with the help of pooled proportion. We do not use P1 and P2 or the proportions. So we calculate something which is called pooled proportion. Clear? Now, what is the formula? So there is a formula, all of you please write down for the proportion. If two sample test of proportions are there, we use this formula. So all of you please write down quickly the formula. Two sample test of proportions. Okay. Z is equal to, please write down P1. We already know by this time what is P1, what is P2, proportion of younger females, P2 proportion of older females, PC pooled proportion. I have already explained you, right? So please write down the formula. Hope you understand what is P1, P2, PC. Three elements. P1 is concerned with sample one, proportion of the sample, okay, which likes the scent, suppose likes the fragrance. P2 is the proportion of older females who like the fragrance, and PC is the pooled proportion, which I have already explained. Pooled proportion is nothing but, if you see what is in the numerator, x1 plus x2. That means whether it is he or whether she is a older female or younger female, what is the liking, how many people like. Say in our example, how much we told, say 60 plus 105. So 105 plus 60, 170, 165 people, older plus younger women like this. And total, what is my sample? 100 and 200. Yeah. So 300. So what is my PC in this case? 300. And in the numerator, 160, 105 plus 60. So 165. So this is my pooled proportion. Clear? Is the formula clear? So if you find the data in a proportion form, we have to use this formula. We cannot use the mean formula. We have to use the proportion. So let us do one problem. All of you please read for 2 minutes. I am giving you 2 minutes to read the problem. Yeah, have you gone through?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let me read it out. This is a perfume company recently developed a new fragrance, right? New product launch. In marketing, new product launch, right? So you can use in this case. This is one application in the industry that it plans to market under name Heavenly, right? A number of market studies indicate that Heavenly has very good market potential. The sales department at Maneli is particularly interested in whether there is a difference in the proportion of younger and older women who would purchase Heavenly if it were marketed, right? They okay. See, the claim is coming from here. All of you, please note this sentence, right? I will come to that, but keep on reading. Have a lens of this James Bond. Yes, you should see. This is the lens. What is the directive? You know, they know where to see what happened actually. They know which place to see. So lens लेके घूमने से ही James Bond नहीं हो जाता है, but lens कहाँ पे देखना है? That is also very important. There are two independent populations. Now listen, a population consists of the younger woman and a population consisting of the older woman. How many samples are there? One sample or two sample?
Two samples.
Two sample. Very good. Each sampled woman will be asked to smell Heavenly. सबको fragrance लिया जाएगा and indicate whether she likes the fragrance well enough to purchase a bottle. Right? Out of 100 younger women, 19 liked the fragrance. 19 ने बोला yes we liked, and out of 200 older women, 62 of them liked the fragrance. This is the problem. Clear? So here, can we use the mean formula? There is no question of mean. Here we have to use the proportion. Clear? Number one. Number two, it is a two sample test. There is not only one sample, there are two groups of women, older and younger. Okay. So let us start solving. And what is the claim of the problem? What is the claim from which our hypothesis will come? What is the claim of the problem? The department is particularly interested in whether there is a difference in the proportion of younger and older women who would purchase heavenly, right? Difference hai ya nahi hai, right? So what will be my null hypothesis? What will be my null hypothesis? Step 1. Yes. What will be the null hypothesis? Very simple. We will just check whether, yes, whether the two proportion are equal. Pi 1 is equal to pi 2. Pi 1 being the younger woman, pi 2 being the older woman. Okay. State the alpha. Alpha is not given in the problem. Please note, we are taking 0.05. Okay. Alpha we take 0.05. Step 2. And now see, this is a one-tail test or a two-tail test?
Two-tailed.
Two-tailed. Excellent. Very good. Very good. Excellent. Step 3. Which test we are going to apply here? We are going to use the Z distribution. Okay. There is only one formula in proportion in Z distribution. So we have no other choice also. We have to use the Z distribution. So step 1, 2, 3 clear? Okay. So now you are thorough. You know how to calculate Zcal, Ztab. Okay. You can easily calculate. It will not take much time. Okay. So okay. Any query in this first 3 steps? I think it is fine. Alpha I have assumed. Alpha I have assumed here. It was not in the question. But if you assume, you write, I am assuming alpha 5% or 1%, whatever it is. Okay, let us move. What is the step 4? In step 4, what we do? In step 4, what we do? We write the Zcal and Ztab. I am coming to Ztab later on. Let us first calculate the Zcal. Okay, so how will we calculate the Zcal? So P1, I take as P1 younger woman, P2 as older woman. Clear? All of you. P1, proportion 1 is younger woman and proportion 2 is older woman. Right? Now see your problem. Hope you had taken a pic. I can go back also if you want. Let me go back. Please see the last line. Out of 100 younger women, 19 like the fragrance. Okay. And out of 200 older women, 62 like the fragrance. So we'll get the P1, P2 from here. Fine. So let us calculate. So P1, can we calculate P1 from the problem?
सर स्टेप 4 दिखा दीजिए.
Step 4. 4 अभी मैंने किया नहीं. 4 I will come back. First understand, so Zcal and Ztab. So first Zcal I am calculating. I will come to Ztab later on. So x1 by n1. Is it clear? So what is my P1? 0.19. What is my P2? 62 told yes we liked out of 200 older ladies, older women. So what is my P2? 0.31. Can we calculate the pooled proportion from here? PC. Can we calculate PC? PC is what? Formula we know. X1 plus X2 divided by N1 plus N2. Very simple. So we know X1, we know X2, we know N1, we know N2. Put this value, calculate, you will get 0.27. Clear? Clear? So now we can calculate our zcal. We can calculate our zcal. We know the formula. I have already given you the formula. P1 minus P2 divided by whole root. This was the problem actually yesterday I was discussing. Okay, I think some of you asked me this is the formula. No, that was different. Okay, this is for the proportion. We'll do a case study on this. That I will come next. So P1 minus P2 divided by root over PC into 1 minus PC by N1 plus PC into 1 minus PC by N2. Okay, put all the value. P1 we know, P2 we know, PC we know. We have calculated PC here. We have calculated PC here. So N1 by N2. So calculate all this. You can calculate later on. If you calculate, you will get minus 2.21. Clear? Is this step clear? Zcal is minus 2.21. Okay. Zcal is minus 2.21. Now I come to step 4. Now step 4, it's a two-tail test. It's a two-tail test. So there will be two rejection regions, right? And already I have told you what is my alpha is how much? 5%. 5%. So what is my CI? What is my confidence interval? 100% minus 5%. How much? 95%. And I have given you three values, if you remember, for 99% CI, for 95% CI, and 90% CI. What is the value of Z for 95% CI? Yes, Tejasvita, are you there?
So 1.96.
1.96. Excellent. Very good. So 1.96 plus 1.96 minus 1.96. So what is our decision rule? Step 4, someone was asking. Now I am discussing the step 4. So if two rejection region, if my Z value, calculated Z value is greater than 1.96, अगर यहाँ पे आता है, yeah, other or if my Z value comes in this region, that means less than minus 1.96, we will reject the null hypothesis. Now, what is our calculated Zcal value? कितना आया था? Minus 2.21. Minus 2.21. So it lies somewhere here, somewhere. Okay. So we will accept the null or reject the null?
Reject, sir.
Reject. Excellent. Excellent. Simply excellent. You have understood whole of hypothesis. I think syllabus is over. Okay. So yeah, very good. Computed value, please. How will you write the step 5? All of you, please write these two sentences. Computed value of 2.21 is in the area of rejection. See, plus minus does not matter too much, right? Is in the area of rejection. Therefore, the null hypothesis is rejected at 0.05 significance level. Clear? Yes? Any query? Yes, any query? Please ask. Yes, any query? Yes. Yeah, Pranshul, is it clear? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now it will be very easy. You can do problem at a much faster rate, right? So, so we have done mean, we have done proportion. So last subtopic of this semester, of this mid-sem. Okay. So now comparing population mean with unknown population standard deviation. Okay, till now we were dealing with known sigma. If you see the last session, in the last class, I discussed a problem where the sigma was known. But if the sigma is unknown and the sample size is less than 30, right? So what are the called? This is, we apply a test called pool t-test. This was yesterday's second problem in the tutorial class. Okay. So what are the assumptions? Number one, both populations must follow the normal distribution. So you know what is normal distribution very well. Number two, the population must have equal sigma. Okay. Number three, the samples are from independent populations. So if these three are satisfied, we go for the pool t-test. Now see. Now listen carefully. What is pool t-test? Yesterday, the second problem in the tutorial class was this. You had to apply this. So what is pooling? Now try to understand. Pooling of pool t-test. This test is called pool t-test. Pool. Why pooling? What does pooling means? Pooling means pool the sigmas, pool the sample, sorry, pool the SS, pool the sample standard deviations. Use the pooled standard deviation in the formula. So first I will give you the formula of pooled standard deviation. Then I will give you the formula. Okay, some of you are asking in the last class. So first you write and try to understand this, how this formula has come. SP square, that means pooled standard deviation whole square is equal to N1. Now look here carefully. N1 minus 1. What is this? What is this? N1 minus 1 into S1 square. What is this? Sample 1 degrees of freedom multiplied by the sample 1 variance. Is it clear? Plus, how will you remember? Okay, plus, see another term, N2 minus 1 into S2 square. That means degrees of freedom of sample 2 multiplied by the variance of sample 2 divided by, see here, it is not N1 plus N2 minus 1. Why? We are actually, what we are doing, there are two samples. So N1 minus 1 plus N2 minus 1. We are simply summing the DF of sample 1 plus the DF of sample 2. This makes up to what? N1 minus 1 plus N2 minus 1 is how much? N1 plus N2 minus 2. Are you getting me? So here you need not mug up this formula. What I mean is you can simply remember. How will you remember? SP square. SP square is nothing but N1 minus 1 degrees of freedom of sample 1 multiplied by variance of sample 1 plus degrees of freedom of sample 2 multiplied by variance of sample 2 divided by degrees of freedom of both the samples, N1 minus 1 plus N2 minus 1. Is this clear? The pooled formula. Although the formula looks big, but see, if you understand this, you know, it's very, very simple. Just I was taking a, I think where I was taking a mock interview of you know, the senior students. So they were telling, sir, somebody was asking a formula. I think there was a external person, and he was asking finance formula, and the student was not able to answer. Then he said a very beautiful thing, that if you understand the formula, you will never forget. Right? So no need of mugging up, or you can simply understand. Okay. So, and okay, just 1 minute. So this is my ultimate formula. This is my T-cal. Hope you understand. This is the, so please write down these also. Both of them go simultaneously. So what is T-cal? In pool t-test, please write down this. x1 bar minus x2 bar divided by whole, please mind it, whole root sp square. So in some book you will find they have taken sp here out. रूट के बाहर अगर मैं स्क्वायर को लेके जाता हूं ये रूट फ्री हो जाएगा. Okay, but if you want to write within the root you have to put it square, sp square into 1 by n1 plus 1 by n2. This was the formula that we applied in the yesterday's second problem. Is it clear, TCAL? So let us do one problem today also. Let us do one problem for today. Okay, let us do one problem. Yeah, so all of you, hope you can see the screen. So I'm giving you 2 minutes. Please go through the problem and we will discuss. Okay. Yeah, have you gone through? Yes. Have you read the problem? So see, there is in the problem, there is no population standard deviation, only sample data is there. Okay, sample timings. Okay, so this is one method in minutes. This is one method in minutes. So a sample of 5, there are 2 methods of mounting the engine. Okay, let us not go into the engineering of that. So we are required to, so these are the 2 processes by which a engine is mounted on the same vehicle or something, right? Now, what is the question? What is the question? Is there a difference? See, all of you, is there a difference in the meantime to mount the engine on the frames of the lawn mowers, right? So this is the claim of the problem. क्या दोनों में difference है या नहीं है? So a sample of 5 employees was timed. Okay, using Wells method. In Wells method, there were 5 employees. Okay, and in Atkins method, there were 6 employees. And these were the timings. Okay. So is there a difference in the mean mounting times? Use 0.1 significance level. Clear? So there is no population standard deviation. We have to go for t-test and pool t-test. Clear? So let us start solving the problem. What will be the hypothesis? What will be the hypothesis? Yes, what will be the hypothesis? Null and alternate. The mean mounting time are equal is null. Mean mounting time are unequal. That is my alternate hypothesis. Okay. Alpha given 0.1. Alpha given 0.1 in the problem. Okay. Test statistics which we are going to use. We are going to use pool t-test. Pool t-test. Why? Because population standard deviations are not known, right? Is this clear? Step 1, 2, 3. Step 1, 2, 3. Is it clear? Yes. Yes. Who is there? Yes. Mayank, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Clear? These 3 steps are clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. These are clear.
Okay. So these are very fundamental. First is state null and alternate hypothesis. Step 2, the nothing. You are just writing the alpha. Step 3 also nothing. You are taking the decision. You have not done any calculation. Calculations comes in which step? Step 4. Okay. Now, before I go to the this one, step 4, let me take you to calculate the value. So how will you can do the calculations later on. You please see this. So this is my data, Wells method data. So first, what we will do, we will calculate the mean x1 bar, which you calculate, we get 4. Okay, for the Wells method. For the Atkins method, these are the data. If you calculate the mean, it is 5. Okay. Now we can calculate similar way. We can calculate the standard deviation for method 1. I mean Wells method. If you calculate, it is 2.9155, and we can also calculate the standard deviation of second sample. Okay. So sample 1 mean standard deviation, sample 2 mean standard deviation. First of all, you have to calculate this. Number 1. Please write step 1, calculate sample mean and sample standard deviation. Step 2, calculate the pooled proportion, pooled sample standard deviation. Okay, pooled. See the word pooled. We'll find this word, sample standard deviation. So what is our formula? I have given you already. Formula I have given you already. No need of writing. Okay. So we know N1. We know N2. We know S1. We know S2. Okay. We know N1 plus N2 minus 2. Okay. So if you calculate this, SP square is 6.222. Okay. So we got the pooled standard deviation. We got the pooled standard deviation. Okay. Okay. Next. T value. Yes. Next T cal, easily you can calculate. You can calculate T cal. You know the formula I have given you now. X1 bar minus X2 bar divided by whole root SP square into 1 by N1 plus 1 by N2. Put all the value. We know X1 bar, we know X2 bar. We SP square we calculated just now, which is 6.222. N1 is my 5, sample 1 size, sample 2 size. So what is my T cal? Yes. Yes. Madhvi, are you there? Yes. Tejaswita, what is T cal? Tejaswita, are you there? Hello?
Minus 0.862.
Minus 0.662. Very good. So this is our T cal. Now we are in step 4. Okay. So let me again go back to step 4. So T cal. Okay. Now if you find the T value from the T table, you will get 1.833. We have seen the T value many times. Okay. So you can calculate the T tab. So again, my T tab is 1.833. Now I divide my region again into 3 region, normal distribution. One is less than minus 1.833. Another is greater than minus 1, sorry, 1.833. Another is this region, which is the acceptance region. Clear? Now, what is our TCal? TCal kitna aaya tha? Minus 0.662. So where does my TCal lie? See my screen. Where does my TCal lie? Rejection region or acceptance region?
Do not reject region.
We do not reject region. Excellent, Akshita. I was not hearing your voice. 0.662, right? So we are in the do not reject region. Okay. So we will accept the null hypothesis. So how will we write that? What is our decision? Not to reject the null hypothesis because 0.662, okay, lies in the region between minus 1.833 to plus 1.833, which is the acceptance region. Clear? Is this clear? So yesterday, the second problem in tutorial class, you have to use this formula. Okay. Similar problem was there, same problem. So if sigma is not there, you have to use the t-test. Okay. With that, we come to the end of our syllabus. Only one concept, I will not do a problem, but one concept I will explain. That is dependent sample. Now, you can just write down this formula. We can do in the tutorial class. So, but now I am not going to do. I will take up the case. Okay. So, what is independent sample? And till now we are concerned with independent sample. All the sample was independent, right? Then your query might be, sir, what is a dependent sample, right? So, I will give you some example of dependent sample. Okay. Suppose you are going to the gym for 1 month. Okay. So, before going to the gym, you take your weight. Okay. Suppose 10 students of this class is going to gym. So before going to the gym, what is the weight of the students, 10 students. And after coming out of the gym for 1 month, what is the weight of the students? So what am I doing here? Same student before going to the gym and after coming out of the gym after 1 month. So this is called a dependent sample. Same student, okay, so going to the gym. Again, suppose I'll be taking 30 sessions total. Now, suppose before 30 sessions, if I would have taken a test of all the 60 students, right? So before my 30 statistics sessions, the weight of the students, the marks of the students, and after attending for 3 months, 30 sessions, if I take at the end of n term, I take one test, right? And I say, this is the observation of marks. So same group of students I am teaching section D, right? 60 students. Before my teaching starts, I took a test on statistics knowledge. After my teaching ends, after 3 months, then I take a test. So this is an example of dependent sample. My sample is same, but before and after. This is called a dependent sample. Okay. So you can write down the formula. We'll do the problem in the tutorial. Okay. So with that, we come to the end of the syllabus. Yes, Nimish, are you there?
Yes, sir.
So with that, we are finishing our syllabus. Okay. Officially, we are finishing the syllabus. Fine. Yeah. Any query? Any query? Or otherwise, I will start with the case and then chi-square. Yes, Nimish. Any query?
No, sir.
Fine. So we are through with the syllabus.
So,
Yes, Akshita.
in this formula, the D is the difference of the means of two samples.
Two samples. Yeah, it is the mean difference. It's the mean of the difference. I take first the difference, then I take the mean. Okay. Just if you want to see this, These are the two samples.
Yes.
These are the, yeah, okay. So
Yeah.
first what I will do, just I am not doing this. I will do in the tutorial. Okay. Friday we are having. So what we'll do, we'll take the difference. This is my first sample. This is a price. Okay. Price of some property or something. So I will take the difference first. Okay. And then I will take the average of this difference. Yes. D bar. This difference, I will take the average. So 46 by 10 is how much? 4.6. Clear?
Average of the difference.
Average of the difference, not the observations. I will deal this whole problem in the tutorial class. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Today, as you wanted the case study, I'm not. If I want to explain, it will be, the class will be over.
Also, we can do it on tutorial.
Yeah, we'll do in tutorial. Okay. So as I told you, we'll stick to tutorial. We'll stick to midterm syllabus. Okay. Okay. So we are done. We are done for the syllabus. Yes. Any query? So we had a marathon run to finish the syllabus. Huge marathon. So today is 27th, and when is your quants exam? Yes. When is the quants exam? Which date? Or if I take 2nd August also, so almost 6 days before we finished.
It's on 5th of August.
5th of August. So almost 10 days before I have finished. 9-10 days. Okay. So that's our official ending of syllabus. Okay. So now I will discuss a case, as some of you wanted to. So I will give you 5-10 minutes. You just go through this case. Okay. So all of you open your website. I will scroll it a bit fast. You might face problem. So please, all of you open your ibscases.org. Yes. Please, all of you open this case. Smoking a costly affair now. All of you open the case on the website www.ibscases.org. Yes. Have you opened, all of you? Yes. Everybody was able to open?
Yes, sir.
Very good. So now you can read in your device or you can read on my screen. Both options are there, but you have to read the case first. Okay. Then we'll start discussion after your reading ends. Okay. So smoking a costly affair now. Okay. Hope all of you have opened the case. So please start reading the case. Please start reading the case. So I will just scroll it down. Okay. Now, this is a case about, the smoking. The smoking is a bad habit actually, so as to say, and how it puts, how it poses different problem to the human lives. So different government, whether it's American government, Chinese government, even Indian government also, from time to time, they try to increase the price of cigarettes, okay, or the tobacco products, so that there is a reduction in the smokers in a country. Okay, so this is the case is all about. This is the fundamental. Now you have to go through, you have to read what happened. Everything will be, several data will be given in the case. So please go through. On April 1st, what happened? The US government had spiked the federal cigarette tax rate from 39 cents to $1.01, more than double as per pack. As smoking had been taking toll on human lives, the anti-smoking advocates welcomed who were anti-smoking advocates, they were very happy. welcomed the administration move, stating that it would have saved an estimated 9 lakh lives. See, so such a good initiative by the government. However, some of the smokers, because see, smokers are generally addicted. So they cannot live in one day. If one sudden night you tell you leave the smoking, you cannot leave, right? So I don't know some of you are smokers or not, but this is the fact actually. A smoker cannot live within within a day or 1 week. 1 week is also difficult to leave smoking. You can reduce the rate and then you can leave. Okay. So this kind of taxation, now government, this kind of taxation is often called as sin tax, right? As it was mainly imposed on vices in previously different, different kingdoms, government have used this sin tax, that in gambling is also not good. So governments see gambling becomes very costly. Okay. Drinking, smoking. Okay. All these are bad vices actually. Ultimately, this affects the life of a citizen, right? So government has every right. Now there are different opinion, government has right or not right, but there will be difference of opinion. Now, recent hike in sin tax expected to stop around 2 million kids. Kids are also smoking these days from trying to smoke for the first time and prompt almost 1 million adults to quit. So not only the younger age population, see this, older age population also will quit if the tax is very high, right? Now, what Pope Leo X had taxed the licensed prostitutes. So there are different types of taxations. Peter the Great levied tax on men who grew beards. Okay, so I have to pay tax. I am having some beard. Okay, so American sin taxation began with the proposal of a, so you can read this, please. Read these 2 lines. Hope you are reading.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So, okay. Let me wait. Please go on reading. You can just read. So please read the case. Exhibit 2. Okay. Revenues. But see, this is, even Delhi government is opening the wine shops. Do you know why? Yes. Nimish?
So that
Where the maximum source of earning, the most prime source of earning of Delhi government is coming from the wine shops. Do you know this? Yes. Pranshul? Pranshul, are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So this I read in one article. Okay, fine. That's a different issue. So please read this. Exhibit 2. So in China, what is happening? Let us see. This was the story of US. In China, what is happening? In China too, the State Administration of Taxation and the University of California had released a report titled Tobacco Tax and its Potential Impact on China. In December 2008, they asked the Chinese government to increase. University of California asking Chinese government to increase substantially the tax rate on cigarette to reduce cigarette consumption in China. Okay. So please read this exhibit 2. Please, all of you read, have a read. Gone through? So different statistics of US, sometime New York, sometimes Democratic senators, what they are doing, right? Even online pornography. Okay, so you can see this. All bad vices, right? Okay, so now what next? What is happening in the case? What is happening? Experts estimated that an increase of 51% of the retail price would reduce as much as 13.7 million smokers, right? And save the lives of 3.4 million. Even people die of smoking due to lungs cancer, right? Now, so it was also estimated that the tax rate could generate as much as 64.9 billion yuan per annum as additional revenues for the governments. You can see Delhi government is earning huge revenue from the wine shops. Okay. So they will say whether it is Corona or not, you drink wine, right? You can drink wine. Okay. So 64% retail price across the globe. Now, some analysts criticize the sin tax. Some criticizes by stating that such a move would definitely promote the interest of low and cheap quality cigarette producers. Why? While further spoiling the health of smokers. Now, smokers are addicted. If you raise the price, if the smoker cannot afford, what he or she will do?
Try to buy from wrong means.
Wrong means, or try to buy very low category cigarettes. You know, previous days there were used to be cigarettes without filter. It's very harmful, very harmful. Within 1 year you will get at least, if not lung cancer, you will have some problem in the lungs, right? So that is the case all about. Hope you are reading. Are you reading or only I am shouting? Hope you are reading. Okay, very good. Now, what the experts did, experts also cited the example of New York City. Now our case is focusing on New York City. Okay. What happened in New York? Please read this paragraph.
Successfully controlled.
Successfully controlled. Okay. It was found in 2006 that the city's smoking rate dramatically declined by 20% to stand at only 17.5%, right? See, the proportion is coming. See, there is no mean median mode. All of you are getting now. Okay. Now have a lens of, now try to have a lens of James Bond with statistics, right? A survey also showed that 45.3 smokers in New York were smoking fewer times than before. Somebody, yes, instead of quitting is a very big issue for the smokers. They are smoking less. That is also a success of the government, right? Isn't it a success of government? Less means less cigarette consumption. At least they will die after few years, okay, with lung cancer. So fewer times before considering plans and ways to quit smoking. It was also found that a number of adolescent smoker. Who are the adolescent? What is the age group of adolescent? This 10 to 20 or something. This is the adolescent age, right? 10 to 20.
So 12 to 18.
12 to 18. Yeah, 12 to 18. No? More specific. Yeah. So even they are smoking. Okay. So adolescent smoke. It was found that a number of adolescent smoker who were more, you can do a study, live project, okay, on this, who were more sensitive to cigarette prices, cut off their tobacco consumption due to their limited finance. Yeah. See, people who is earning has huge finance. You reduce the rate, nothing happens. If a person is earning 1 lakh rupees, if you increase the price of if the government increase the price of cigarette by even say, 50 rupees per packet, it does not matter. But for a student or adolescent sort of, yeah, school going children are smoking these days, right? So for him, he has limited pocket money, whatever his father or mother giving, parents are giving. So he will stop or he will reduce at least, right? So as a result of cigarette price hike, there were more cigarette quitters, very good, in low income groups than high income groups in the city. Obviously, that is expected, right? High income groups will carry on with the cigarette. Low income में ज़्यादा quitters होंगे, quit करेंगे, right? Now our James Bond lens. So now read this line. Our problem is this. Okay. Please read these two lines. And after we come back, you have to tell me the solution of this problem. So all of you read the 5 lines, last 5 lines. Okay, so this is our problem. This is our problem. So that is the end of the case. Yes. So let us take a break first, then we will discuss. Okay. So let me stop now. So you just go through the case by the meantime. So after we come back, we will discuss the case.
ये 2 sample वाला था ना?
Yes, very good. Nimish has started solving. See,
2 sample test.
first of all, 2 sample. You have got 2 sample, right? Very good. And what is your another observation? There is no data about the population, only sample they are talking about.
Proportion.
So yes, very good. Proportion. So you can also understand which formula. There is only one formula in proportion in 2 sample.
Population proportion.
Population proportion.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Excellent, excellent. Case study is solved. Although I will give you, if you want, I can give you the solution, but you have done. So, okay, let us take a break and we'll come back. Okay. So you have solved 70% of the case already. So let us come back. Let us come back. Okay. So let us take a break of 15 minutes. Okay, very good. Let us take a break of 15 minutes. Yes, sir, we can stop now.